It's in markets where the risk is not neglectable. So in markets where we have a significant share of Euribor indexed loan portfolios in retail, the NPL surge is actually happening. So if you think of Austria and similar markets, where the Euribor share in, for example, housing loans is 50+%. And also in the legal entities business, if we look at the commercial real estate. So we even had in Austria the largest bankruptcy in the history of the country. It was a commercial real estate actually triggered by the interest rates. And so the risk is here, but I would say in the region itself, it is not a striking one. And if I speak, let's say, for Montenegro, I think I wouldn't be so wrong if I would say that the share of fixed interest rate loans in Montenegro in retail is 90+%. And in corporate, there is a significant share of Euribor indexed loans. But on the other hand, we must admit that, I think this is for the whole region the case, that the rates are astonishingly low, the interest spreads for the corporates, especially for the larger ones. And if the Euribor increase, if it did have some effect on the corporates, then many deals were renegotiated or even refinanced by other banks. But let me refer, maybe since we are talking about the potential credit risk, let me refer to some other practices, let's say questionable practices, which are, in my opinion, can lead to a certain headache after a certain time. So, and I would say this is in retail banking. It's the presence of, it's actually the most of the banks do not use a proper household income calculation when approving the loans. It is, let's say, some light version of creditworthiness calculation. This is market practice. And on the other hand, you have a large share of cash consumer loans unsecured with pretty long tenors, up to 10 years, and with questionably high DSTI ratios. So combined together, this could lead, in times when it gets tougher, this could lead to certain erosion of retail portfolios. And on the legal entities business side, we still have, unfortunately, quite frequently present, especially real estate project financings without closed financial structure. And if you think from the other perspective, actually, this is a reverse of the risk-taking chain. So usually in the project, it should be the first one who takes the risk is the investor, then the bank, and the last one, actually, the citizen who bought the flat, if something bad happens. But with these suboptimal, inadequate financing structures, we are actually turning that around. Right. And this is not something what should be on the long run. But even if it happens, if some of the major risks get striking, I'm convinced that this will not, in none of the countries in the region, that this will not cause any systemic failures or larger earthquakes. Because simply, first of all, the banks are by far more equipped with capital. This cannot be compared with previous times. And maybe even more importantly, the risk management framework and the governance in the last 10 years, I would say, is a completely different one. And the portfolios which have been built in the last decade are of a complete different, much better quality than the older ones when we had systemic failures. And just to close, so I would say not less important is the big reason why we have such calm risk situation everywhere. Because who of us knows a bank which is struggling with NPLs? I don't know one. This is, I would say, to a certain extent, also due to the fact that we haven't faced a recession for quite a long time, except for COVID, but I would say this was a rather soft landing. But if it comes, and someday it will come, then the headache will come. And we all know from life experience, the longer a party lasts, the more headache on the next day we have.